Before we start, this is unfortunately the last future materials encounter for this generation of participants, but yeah, it's been like an interesting journey so far, and today I'm very, very happy that we can have this last episode with Maria here, who just joined us from Barcelona and London, actually. And
Yes.
yeah, Maria is here to take us on a soil exploration in the surrounding of Maastricht.
Yes.
Her practice explores crafts in relation to sustainable materials, which are sourced through archaeological and geological methods. So I'm sure Maria will tell us more during
Yes.
the journey. So basically we're going to have a walk of 1 hour, a bit longer than 1 hour. Luckily it seems like to be a dry and almost sunny morning, so that's nice. And then we will come back here to do like a more hands-on part and work with the locally sourced soils. And tomorrow there is a kiln building
Yeah.
moment. And
I mean, yeah,
cooking.
it's
Well,
we wanted to rush a bit the time, so we're gonna see what we are able to do, because to process the earth you need some time to let it dry, and also to let dry the pieces for the kiln. But yeah, I'm sure we will manage to do some stuff, and otherwise we just build the kiln, and if you guys feel that you can turn it on in a couple of days, then. But let's see, maybe we manage to turn it on.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is from the molds, you call it. So they took out the clay, the earth, and then they bring it up, which is pretty good for us because we can they remove it from quite deep underneath and bring it up. But we're not gonna be taking this earth. I just wanted to show this earth, and like maybe we can see different kind of soils on earth and see which is the one that is going to be more useful. So yeah, I just wanted to come here and maybe like grab a bit and see how this looks like. Basically, there is some clay content also because when you press it, and then you can see that the fingerprints, so that means that there is some clay content, and if we put some water it will be quite sticky and muddy, but at the same time it's basically also quite sandy, and for the color we can also see that there is a lot of organic matter. So the organic matter you basically see it for the dark color, and if we use organic matter when we shape the sculptures, then basically that burns away in the high temperature, and the pieces that you do ended up really porous and they easily break. You can still shape and make with that, but yes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know a bit about soil and what is in there exactly, but basically you have the topsoil, which is organic matter, which is where you find all the fungi and like all the living materials that creates these networks around plants and trees, and it's like this that recently we've been talking a lot about, because it's really important for the soil as a living system to sustain the life on Earth, and that basically helps to this system to filter water, exchange CO2, but this basically has been removed a lot in the way we've been farming, and it's been kind of like not look at it and like how important is it. And then we have the mineral, so organic matter and mineral matter, and in the mineral matter we find the clay, silt, and sand, and it's basically these elements are mainly how big are the particles. So like clay is the thinnest particle, and sand is like the bigger one, and then you also have stones. But it changes also depending on the geology and the minerals. So like that's why we also get different colors of earth. But then in every earth, like soil, you have this sand, silt, and clay. So basically, when you process earth, the sand always goes at the bottom, and then the clay stays on the top. So yeah, we just, depending of if there is too much sand, you can always just try to get only the top. I will be showing you later. But yeah, mainly you can also control a bit what you're taking when you process it and you mix it. I wanted to show you maybe next to the river, because there is, it looks like it's super good clay, but it's actually a lot of compost, because it's like really fine particles, but then it doesn't have a lot of mineral content. So I just wanted to show you so you also have an idea. But yeah, like as you see, you can also, when you smell it, it smells really like dumpy, and like you can tell it's basically a lot of compost. Yeah.
Can we smell it?
Yeah. Yeah, it smells like. So like we will be able to shape something with that, but it's just like, it's kind of like a living material, so we also don't want to be.
Yeah. Oh, so we don't want to.
Yeah, because I'm sure like if we start digging, there will be a lot of worms and. But you can see that you can do something with it. But then it cracks a lot also, because there is no sand or there is no other elements that help the clay, the mud, to stick together. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, will disappear, and then it will be something really porous, because the clay, the mineral matter will be really low. I did some pieces with that, and I managed to do something, but they broke after a while.
He's searching for more.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Big pool.
We're getting attacked.
I see them. I see them.
Like I always have to say.
Yeah, you can see some roots as well.
Yeah, and glass pieces.
And glass pieces already.
Or is it?
The amount
No, it's
of
organic
clay
matter.
It's
has
organic
to do
matter.
with the history of the ground, right?
Yes.
Here used to be like an ocean.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
actually something
yes.
In the north
interesting
of
Maria
Holland,
is
it's
also
very
doing.
difficult
Like
to
she
find.
just
Yeah, because it's
the
mainly
final,
sand. No? Like
yeah.
it's kind of like an artificial land.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this used to be in the sea.
Yeah.
So I think what Ron told me is that if we dig like a meter or 2 meters, we were gonna end up finding clay. But like mainly what we find in the first strata, it's more like the sediments from that the river, that it's been transporting. But then we're gonna go up to a little hill where we find clay, and he said that it's where the sea was here, but the hill still had like more the geological natural geology from that place. So like you find more clay in there. Okay, we keep going a bit more. So yeah, we were talking before about how before this was underwater. So here you can really see like the hills where we were saying that you can find more clay, and we will get some clay later from there. And here you can, like, it's kind of the same earth, but like, so you can see that there is some clay, but since it's also agricultural land, it's been moved and mixed. So you can see it's also less brown and dark than the other one. Oh, nice. But yeah, like super dark because it has organic matter, and then this one it has less. I collected some yesterday from this one, so I will show you how it looks now with water when we go back. And we will collect just the one that has more clay. So yeah.
But if you would dig like 1 meter below, what would you find?
Yeah, Ron say definitely you can find more clay. And I don't know if any of you have seen the hole in Jan van Eyck that someone dug like 2 years ago. Well, there's a hole that now it's been covered, but they found clay in like after 2 meters. And I also, like, I started looking at soil during my final master projects, and it was locked down, so I did an archaeological mission in my garden. So I dug a hole of 3 meters, and I didn't find clay after 1.5 meters. And before that, basically, I found the topsoil, and then a lot of like more sandy soil with a lot of debris and gravel and things that, you know, like you could see how that garden, like as deeper as I was going, I could see also what happened in that garden, and a lot of leftovers from the last neighbors, or, you know, like you could kind of tell the history of that place by going down the hole. And at the end I found the clay, which was the natural strata of that place. But yeah, like, I think the cool thing about working with clay is that the idea that you can actually work everywhere, and I find it just interesting how it's a way also to understand your surroundings and just start digging and understand what's in there. And I guess it's also like you can work in like a super hyper localized manner, and then you can also understand a bit more what's your impact towards the environment, and by taking it and looking at it, you can also see it's like, okay, what's missing in that soil, or what's happening, and yeah, it's not that I'm a soil expert, but the fact that you look at different places, as more as you know, like you go and visit different places and you work with different soils, you ended up having, you know, like more knowledge about what's better. So yeah, I always encourage people to do the same because it's fun. And then also, like, for instance, that it's been raining, and you can see that there is a bit of like a surface that, I don't know, it's kind of packed together. It's not, you can see that it's not like that sandy, so that also means that there is some clay. But mainly you also don't want that it's, when you grasp it, it doesn't stay together that much, so that means it's not like amazing clay, if that makes sense.
What about contamination from fertilizer, from we are like in front of monoculture?
Yeah, that's a good point, and actually I wanted to do a bit of the research how, like, maybe when you fire, you can make visible this pollution.
Do you smell it?
But I think first of all, smell, no?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I'm not that expert to see and say, okay, that's polluted or that's not. But I think when you work quite a lot with soil, you easily know which is like a really fertile and nice soil.
And
The first thing to see if the soil is healthy is when you find worms.
Yeah.
And yeah, worms is the first indicator of a healthy soil.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like plants, I guess. Plants.
Plants, yes, of course.
And roots.
Mycelium, sometimes
Yes.
you can see it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we go to the hill and then we go back. Yes, please. I was gonna suggest, so I got some plastic bags, and I thought that it would be nice if everyone gets a bit of clay so you can shape something later. So yeah, I thought it would be best to carry it, just like everyone gets a bit. I would say maybe it's because like it's kind of similar, but like Ron and me dug a bit up in that walk, and it was kind of nicer clay. So here it's kind of better because if you dig, you don't dig holes in around the walk. But like we can, yeah, few of us can get from here, few of us can get a bit higher there. So yeah. So, someone.
I have another tricky question there. with
Yes,
me,
yes,
Maria.
please go.
How do you deal with the impact of the holes? Like,
So normally when I dig, mm, the earth is super compact, so you can manage to just not leave the hole, you know, like maybe like also like you scratch a bit the top one and like cover it, so it's always
only if you don't go too deep.
exactly like we did a workshop now with like 15 participants and we got like lots of clay from London, but we managed to just like cover it again with a lot of, also if you have compost then just put compost back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good point, and just like make sure that if you scratch something then you kind of like
Leave the
well, you kind of cover it and you don't leave the hole in there.
Right.
And then I just wanted to tell you, like before you, like at the beginning of my project I collected like earth from 15 different agricultural land, and it was crazy how like when I fired them they had lots of different results and like different colors, like kind of they are all of them quite red, but like you could see that there were a lot of different minerals and stuff. So I think it's also really interesting research when you like as a ceramicist you have to know a bit like what minerals are you using. So yeah, like to start to identify which minerals you know react in some way, and like okay, so I think this earth has like more iron or more calcium or more feldspar or something like that. But it's like a long research, but I find it really interesting. So I think there are ways to understand what you're working on when you fire. So yeah, like firing, it's a way of also visualize a bit what is in there, if that makes sense. Okay, so maybe someone wants to dig, maybe a bit there, or yes.
Like this?
Yes, so like, yes. A bit here, like this. And then you try to not get a lot of stones.
Maybe easier just to loosen with the hand. Huh?
Yes, and then you just get these
Exactly.
little ones. And then maybe here also you can get a bit. But for instance, in here, no, but this is more sandy. We cannot go a bit. Oh, there is some horses. Yeah, let's go a bit further.
How much do we need?
I would say get like few of you get. Yeah, like this.
I mean, I can share
Yeah,
with you
maybe a bit more, and you have for sure for a piece. And you can see that the lighter. So this is where the clay is like
very good,
yeah.
It also is very
So
very
as lighter as it is, it's like it means there is more clay.
The lighter, yeah,
Yeah, the lighter is the clay.
but it's only in this little layer.
Well, it's like mixed a bit,
No, it wasn't.
but you see, you can actually see that there is some, like compost together with the clay.
Yeah.
We be careful then.
Yeah, no. Already stung me,
Really?
but it's okay, it's healthy. We can share it with people.
Yeah, but I don't want you to carry too much. Maybe you can open
Yes,
this.
of course. Should we also go to the next
Yes.
spot?
Yes, it's just a bit higher. And we have some more.
And we have some horses, right?
Should be enough
Yes, let's
for
just
two
get.
people or something.
Yes, perfect.
There's some stones. More stones.
The horses are waiting for us.
They will probably wonder what we are doing.
But it's horses coming.
Do we have here the resident that was?
Yes.
Because I don't want to dig more there because but maybe here. Let me put a little more.
Can I take this is the other one, that's not the good one.
Like
Because
a residual.
the artifact.
I'm also curious, like, to, if you found, like, different kind of artifacts.
Yes.
Like, between, London,
Yeah.
like, urban area.
I know.
And, like, a farming land or countryside of Spain, like, also what you understand from the
The place.
more
Yeah.
than human.
Exactly.
Histories.
Like that's what I also finding right now is like I love to work with these artifacts that I find, but like these artifacts you find it more in like urban places or like gardens, and it's mainly on the surface, no? It's not where you find the nice clay, and
Right.
because also like the nice clays to work, it's or like deeper or in more like countryside where you don't see all these human traces
You
or
don't see
everything.
them?
You see them like,
Okay.
but like not as you see them in the
As
city.
many as, yeah, in the
So
same-
like, so now what I do is mainly like, because I garden during, like I combine my practice with gardening. So like when I'm in the gardens and I find like interesting bits, I just like collect these pieces of metals or like pieces of other ceramics, like Victorian ceramics or glass that I found, and then I add it in my pieces.
Okay. I'm just curious to understand how you combine it with gardening. Like, I mean, I can imagine that you have like your garden. But...
Yeah, no, yeah, I do garden for other people.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah. So like I go to different gardens and then I steal some bits that I that I find in the ground.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's get some from there. I can see someone already.